Hey everybody, welcome to Houdini Hangout. It's great to have you all here. We are the end of August. Things are wrapping up on the month of August. Hope your week is going well, your month's going well, and yeah, we're rolling right along here. So hey, Efrivas, welcome. I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, things are going well here. Hey Mo, how's it going? Hello, nice to have you. Yeah, so things are going pretty well. We did a little simulation stuff, like a little bubble growing simulation last week, and this week we're going to continue along with that and see if we can't wrap that up a little bit more. Make it a little bit more of a nice, not finished piece, but give it a little bit more polish than we normally do, because I felt like it was going in a nice direction. So, I think it'll be good to go in and get everything, wrapped up nicely. So that's the plan for this evening. Is kind of just continuing along with, what it was that we were doing before. So if you're interested in joining the Discord server, and you want to get some more, help on stuff, or you have, questions about anything, you feel free to go to HoudiniHangout.com. You can grab the Discord invite link there and then join up for free. And lots of great, helpful people in there. It's a nice group of folks that not really any there's no danger of asking a dumb question, because I don't think there are any dumb questions. So feel free to come in and ask what you will, and if you've got something that you're working on, happy to try to help you out a little bit with that. I always say that there's a lot of folks that are talking while I'm asleep, so I wake up a lot of times and there's conversations that have happened, so that's kind of fun. But yeah, so feel free to join that, HoudiniHangout.com. There's also on the website, there's information about stream and all that kind of stuff. Stream on Twitch and YouTube. Obviously, you found one of those, so if you want to switch to the other one, you're more than welcome to. But they're at both places. So hey, AZ, welcome. So the other thing too is, if you have any questions or thoughts or ideas or ways to do things better or anything at all, feel free to throw that in the chat. Always interested to hear what people, if people are like, hey, this would be a much better way of doing this, or I think you could do X, Y, or Z, and happy to take that into account and think about how we might, just better do this process, any process that we're kind of working on, because I don't like to just be the one saying, well, this is the way it has to be done. There's always many, many ways that things can be done, and always a lot of different things that you can kind of do to get your projects finished. So yeah, that's my little PSA every time here. So hey, Anya, welcome. Oh, you're watching Spider-Man. Cool. Very nice. I haven't seen that. I haven't done a lot of, hey, Philip, how's it going? I haven't done a whole lot of, movie watching recently in the theaters, unfortunately. So, maybe that'll change in the coming months. Maybe a little bit more as the weather gets cooler outside. Maybe that'll be something I do a little bit more. But yeah. So, I guess with all that being said, yeah, let's jump over and get into some Houdini stuff. Oop, sorry, wrong button. Where are we? Here we are. There we go. That's the right button. Yeah. So, hello, Maddie. How's it going? Oh, hi, Leonard. How's it going? Welcome to the stream, Leonard. Yes. You're a good boy. Yep. Get a little puppy camera here. There he is, Leonard. He's a good boy. Leonard's famous. He's a good boy. Hi. Oh yeah, you gotta. Now you're really getting in the camera. Hi. I know. I know. It's a very exciting day. We had some nice time outside today, and my wife is heading out, and so he's a little he's a little unsure of what's going on here and why everybody has left him. But one person of the pack has left him, so now he's very needy. But anyways, Leonard, welcome to the stream. Nice to have you, bud. Anyways, so yeah, let's take a look at what it was that what we did last week, and we can go from there. So here is our little simulation. See ya, dude. Hey, Cosmotion, welcome. So here's our little animation that we had put together. And let's take a look at the actual video here too. So let's find that. It's right here. And I saw that Rafal actually is in the Discord server, I think. And so that was really cool. I think he jumped in and said, oh, hey, I actually did that. So it's really cool to have him in there. So yeah, so we were kind of doing this type of a thing here. So I think that, hey, Zach, how's it going? So yeah, so what I'm kind of hoping for here is the last couple little bits here, maybe deforming these around these little spheres and stuff like that. So that's kind of my hope there. And yeah, maybe do a little deformation around this bubble as well. So I think, yeah, so I think that's kind of what we're gonna do here. Also, we don't have any like P scale on these drops or anything like that. And I cannot remember. I think we had different mass on these, if I'm remembering correctly. Maybe not. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Well, what we could do here is let's start to do some, let's see here. What could we do? We could do a copy to points real quick, just to kind of, just to see some sphere information here, so we can kind of see where that's going. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pack and instance these. And they don't really need to be anything too crazy, so something like that. And let's see, what could we do here? Again, what's our attributes that we have? Maybe we'll work with... Hey, procedural. Welcome. We could always remap this, maybe the drag attribute to the scale of it. So let's do that. Let's do an attribute remap here. Throw that in. Let's grab the drag, I think, and let's rename that to P scale. Let's compute the range here, and then we can go just kind of start to refine this a little bit, make this maybe a little bit more what we're thinking of here. Whoops. Yeah, something like that. You know, might also be nice to put just like a little bit of like, just a little bit of like wind noise in there, maybe. So let's do that. Let's do just a little bit of pop wind here. And I'm just going to do a really tiny bit of amplitude, maybe really fairly large swirl size, I think. Let's see here. Let's see what we can get. That's too much. Let's go to like... Keep playing around with these a little bit here. Just find an attribute that seems like it's... Yeah. That's kind of nice. Maybe we just do... Maybe go back to like this. Just get a little... something in there. Enya was asking, what does the attribute map... the attribute remap do? So the attribute remap is basically a way to take one value here, original value, and a new original attribute and a new attribute, and basically map them between each other. So here we're taking this drag attribute, which is basically saying like how much drag we're applying to these, and basically from the amount of drag that we're applying, we're then mapping that to a new scale value. So here you can see the input values are here, we computed those, and then we adjusted the minimum and maximum from there. Sorry, let me just let's see. I'd probably copy actual spheres onto those points, use a mountain afterwards based on P, so they automatically deform while traveling. Make a VDB from polys again. VDB subtract for some fake surface tension. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so what I'm thinking, yeah, so Philip, I think that's pretty close to what it is that I'm thinking of doing here. I think what I'm gonna do though is, yeah, I think what I'm going to do is... Now, there's a few different things that we could do. Obviously, we could do like an accumulation solver, right? Because like that would be sort of smart to do here as well. Droplets are smooth, though. Nice. Oh, I think you're saying they're smooth, so you wouldn't want to use a mountain on them. Yeah, so, yeah, let's take a look at the, yeah, I mean, there's quite a bit more stuff that's happening here, right? We're actually having some of these droplets kind of like merge together and do some stuff like that. I think what would be best to do probably would be to, yeah, I'm just trying to think here. I kind of feel like we could honestly do the map in Copernicus, honestly. I think that might work. The only thing that might be tricky about it is that I don't know about the points. Yeah, maybe not. I'm just thinking. Yeah, so I think probably maybe the best thing we could do here would be to, well, like for these droplets and things like that, I want to convert these over into a, I think they use a trail based on V that gets longer when fast and shorter when slow. VDB those particles after. The ground is a height field, so the deform should be easy in Copernicus, right? Yeah, what did I even do for the ground? Sorry, let me think about that. Yes, the ground is a height field in Copernicus. That's true. That is true. What should I do there? Because I did convert it here. That's right, it is. Yes, Tom, the answer is Apex. It's always Apex. Yes. Should definitely do it in Apex. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what's the smartest way of doing this. Yeah, trail based on velocity that gets longer when fast, shorter when slow. Let me think about this. So, does this ground have a UV on it? I actually didn't even think about that. It does. It does have a UV point attribute. So that means I should be able to take these particles and get a UV off of them. If they don't already have it, do they have it? That'd be kind of interesting. Oh, they probably have it from where they were scattered. They're not actually adjusting. So yeah, what I could do though is I could take that particle sim. I could attribute transfer. Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. Yes. The denting behind and under the droplets. Yes, exactly. Let's just do this real quick. And I could grab those. Because like I think the biggest thing, there's a couple different things that you could do, right? You could have an attribute and have that deform the geometry up and down and stuff like that based on a distance and like an accumulation, right? Like so like a distance to the or how much the attribute is there or whatever. But I am just trying to think here. Yeah, I'm definitely all ears. I'm Oh, okay. Yeah. And like you said, accumulate attribute transfer in a solver. Yeah. So, yep, displace along normals. Yep. Yeah, that's definitely one way of going about it. Let's try that. So yeah, we could do this here. Actually, probably don't need to pack and instance that. And what I could do then, let's see here, is yeah, let's get the ground again. I'm just going to make another one of these. So yeah, so what we're talking about there is basically doing something like this, where we would take these particles, right, and we have some sort of attribute on them that would, you know, more or less just be some sort of, you know, we could just make an attribute that's just called like mask or something like that. So we could just make a mask attribute that's set to 1, and transfer that over based on these distances here. So let's just see what that looks like. Turn that on, and then we can turn the distance threshold down, and we should be getting some attributes there, right? So like this is going to be you know, where, oh, that's weird. Why is that happening? Huh. That's cool. Sorry if that's triggering anyone. Sorry about that. That's weird. I don't know. That must be some sort of bug. Or maybe it's something with the automatic. Like, let's see here. Maybe that's something with this. Nope. Yeah, that's super trippy. Viewport rave feature. Yeah, exactly. Good call. Good call. Yes. Always a feature. So this is sort of the issue here, right? Is that in order to get better attributes from this, we'd need to subdivide this as well. Subdivide this mesh, and then we could get some better. Oh, maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm doing this. Sorry. That's probably what it is. Yep, that's what it is. So like you need to subdivide the mesh in order to get better and better, results from it. And so that unfortunately is part of the issue there. I think what would maybe be better, like we could have this a resolution independent of the actual geometry there and get a little bit of a better result over in Copernicus. So that's kind of where I'm thinking it would be better to do that. So like if we looked at these here, yes, the attribute blur would certainly make it smoother for sure. Oops. So yeah, if you did an attribute blur afterwards, that would, let's see, we're going to blur mask, and that's going to make it a little bit smoother, right? Although there is still this limitation of the geometry, right? And we could get around that by upping the resolution of that as well, and kind of playing with that, but it's going to really kind of hinder the playback speed of everything. So let's see here. Well, let's play with this real quick first. So there's our mask. We kind of have a full mask wherever this exists. And then we have yes, there's a wet map example. Yes, I do remember that. I think what you would do is you would I'm pretty sure you would do that through, yeah, there it is. And I think I have this somewhere, but yeah, sure, why not? We'll take a look at that as well. Oh, it's in here already. Yep, I thought I had that. Sweaty Jimmy. Classic Chris Rodledge. Yeah, I'll pop that open. Take a look at it. But so what we would do here, right, if we were looking to adjust this, is we would take something like this. Oh, is that not getting, maybe that's not getting relayed across properly. Sorry about that. If it's not, yeah, Tom is just chatting in the Discord server. So sorry about that. I didn't realize that might not be happening. Hold on a second here. I'll take a look at this and see what's, make sure I'm not losing it here. Yeah, weird. It's not transferring over the Discord chats. That's weird. Okay. Well, sorry. Tom is chatting over in the Discord server that I'm looking at right now. So sorry about that. Not sure why that's not coming over. That might be just a little issue with let's let's see here. I'm going to do my version so that I can see this a little bit better. So here's our wet map. Let's take a look at what Tom did here. Here's our cop network. So let's see. We got Jimmy, UV space. Then there's a VDB from the sweat, which is in UV space. I don't know. What space is that in? And you're sampling the VDB. I think there's actually like real, just gonna turn this to dark just to see if I can see this somewhere in here. Is it in here anywhere? Hello? No? What does the sweat VDB look like? Yeah, that OpenCL thing is not necessary anymore because there's actually a cop for that. Weird. I'm not seeing this VDB, so it makes it kind of hard to like understand what it is I'm looking at here, but that's okay. The density VDB is super faint. That's probably would make sense. Let's see here. Whoops. That's not going to work because it's looking for right, that's a surface VDB. Oh, there we go. Thanks. Gotcha. And are you bringing over... Let's see in here. So are you bringing over... Because you've got the UVs here. And is that this... You're sampling it based on the UVs, but where are the UVs on this VDB? That's the thing I'm not understanding here. Converting it to fog VDB. Yeah, where's the UVs? Where are you doing the UVs there, Tom? It's a world position map. I see. Got it. So it's looking it up based on the world position. Got it. Got it. Yes. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that would actually be not too bad. Okay, yeah, let's try that. Let's try that. So it's a world position map and it's looking it up based on that. Okay, we'll do that in a second. I'll play with this first. So, yeah, so what we would do here is we would take this mask, attribute transfer it, blur it a little bit, yeah, I think what we actually would want to do is just going to kind of finagle this a little bit here. So, particle geo. So that's our actual geo right there. Let's take these. And I'm just going to move this down here. And what we could do is go back up to this geo ground here and paste this in here. We don't need to do this anymore. So we could just grab this. Well, let's just remove that and put a null here and just say, we'll call this source ground, something like that. Just kind of tweak this a little bit. Okay, so we've got this here and I am going to object merge in the particles. So let's do that. Sim particles. Particle sim. Should work. Oh, you know what? That's right. I think I had this. I don't think I specified this source ground in my bubble simulation, unfortunately. Yep, I didn't. There we go. That's why it's getting angry at me. It's trying to do the extra stuff in there. Okay, so now we should be able to hopefully get this. What is that mad about? Ah, I see. I see. That's what it's mad about. Cool. Okay. It just was mad because I changed where that stuff is going. Okay, cool. So let's do that. We've got all of these things working now. Great. All right. So we can come back up here to the ground. Let's take a look at the particle simulation here. Here's our ground itself. We've got a mask attribute on those points. It's going to transfer it over. We're going to blur it. Okay, great. All back to where we should be. Cool. I'm going to say get particle sim. Okay. So now let's do a solver here. So this is just going to be a generic solver, and this will allow us to do accumulate mask. And so what we're going to do is we're going to use the previous frame, and we're going to I think we're just going to do an attribute copy because it's going to be the exact same geometry here. So this from this, and then go out here and not do CD, but we're going to do mask. I think that should work, right? Oops. What's going on here with these? Oh, the particles are not. Why are the particles not colliding properly here? What's going on? Yeah, they're going under the ground. Why are we going under the ground here, guys? Ah, I see. Another thing here. That's the issue. There we go. Hopefully problem solved. Yep, problem solved. All right, we just weren't colliding properly. I just undid a bunch of goofy things there. Okay, that's why I should always have better links here and not just to the whole object. Okay, so let's see here. We've got the previous frame coming in, and we want, oh, that's just going to copy it. That's not going to add it, right? So what we need to do is we're just going to do a point wrangle, something like that, and we're just going to grab the new thing here. We're just going to say f at mask, got a little bigger so you can read it, plus equals, actually I'm going to grab a point first. So this is going to be, we'll just call it new mask. Bye, Tom. See ya. We're going to say point, and we're going to go from the first or the second input and look for mask and the same point number. Yeah, I can type good. All right. And then we're just going to add, or no, actually not add. We're going to say equals the max of f at mask, new mask, right? Because we want it to be the maximum of that. We don't want it to be like adding them together because then it's going to get more and more. But that hopefully that'll do it. Oh, right. I didn't give this a float. There we go. Let's see how that works. Let me jump up here, see if this will. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So now we've got these streaks going, and that's looking pretty nice. But the only problem is they're not fading off. So what we can do is we could just do something super simple, like an attribute adjust float, just something really simple. And just say, instead of p scale, we'll do mask. And we can just subtract a real small value from it. Maybe, I don't know, 0.05, something like that. And this will just be sub from previous frame. Something like that. And when we look at this, it should hopefully fade off now. Yep. And that's probably too much. So let's just turn it down a little bit. Let's say 0.1 maybe, something like that. All right, so let's see how this looks here. So there we go. And what we could do, yeah, we're just gonna do that. That'll be easy enough to do, and we'll just kind of call it from there. So let's maybe ghost the other objects here. Let's turn on our particles so we're seeing those as well. Okay, yep. So what we could do now is for the ground, we could do a. I actually like to do this with like a point VOP. I think that'll be pretty nice. So let's take this. We're gonna do a splice along the normals. We should. Actually, would it be along the normals or would it be straight up and down? Oh, we can try both ways. Let's try both ways. So there we go. We're gonna do P and there. So basically this is just a straight displacement and we need to grab the scale. And so what we could do here is we could do, we could bind the attribute. So this is going to import basically one of our attributes from this, from our geometry here. And so we could grab something like mask and throw that into the amount. And we don't obviously want that scale to be like so. And so maybe we would do something super small like that, right? So like that's going to be our maximum scale maybe. You know, something along the lines of that. But what we'd probably want to do is have a like a ramp parameter here that we could use to do a spline ramp from this. And let's just see here. So ramp parameter is going to come up here and we can do a linear, or sorry, we could do a linear ramp like this. We should be able to do is, let's make this a little bit bigger here. So we actually want part of it to go up higher, right? And so we should be able to say that if we take this and go the other way, it'll actually come up, right? So what I'm doing here is I'm actually taking this value and going negative with it. So you can see here, these values are now negative. And so, you know, we could do something like this if we wanted to here, where we'd have 0. And then maybe we just convert all of these into a Bezier, something like that. And we could certainly control these a little bit more, like how strong we would want them to be. And so now we would have these little trails and things like that from each of these. Let me turn that off actually from the mask. And there you can see we've got some little things happening. Certainly not the nicest way of probably of going about doing that. And maybe what we would even want to do is like you'd probably want to like even like bunch this up a little bit more, right? Like you'd want to make this I don't know. You'd want to make like the little lumps around these things a little bit closer probably. So yeah, and this is kind of where the trouble comes in, right? Because you have this you know, this resolution that's tied directly to this. And again, we can subdivide this and get, you know, maybe some smoother results out of it. Tell me this is live. Are you saying that what's live? That I'm doing this presentation live, or that that this is live in Houdini? They're both true, I guess. So yeah, there's yeah, there's a few different things going on here, right? That are yeah, I'm streaming. Yes, I'm streaming this live. So yeah, so we've got this here, and it's yeah, you're definitely gonna run into some resolution issues here, but I mean it's working, right? Like it certainly is working. So yeah, I mean like that's sort of doing its thing, right? And I think what we could do then, yeah, maybe it's something like this, right? And we just leave it. Now what Tom was saying was that we could use, we could do a height field, like basically look it up in Copernicus, and that would be pretty easy to not pretty easy, but that would be something that we could do as well. We would have to do the accumulation solver a little bit differently because we'd need to, oh, what did he even do there? I don't even know. What did he do for his, oh, he just trailed him. I see. So he's just doing a trail. Yep. Right. So, so yeah, there's a few different ways you can obviously do this. And I guess like for that situation there, I mean, like, so here, the way that Tom's doing it is he's doing it with trails, right? So you could do it that way as well. The way we're doing it here. So what we would do there is instead of having these go like that and then accumulate it, you might do a trail, right? Like so. And then, yeah, I don't know how long you'd want to do this. Maybe, I don't know, 20 or something like that. And then you'd have all these different, you know, trails and things like that that are happening. And you could, from there, you would basically do like a resample and get probably the curve U from it. Hey, Carlos, how's it going? Oh, right. I would want to do this, connect as polygons, but keep them open. There we go. That would work. Oh, no. What am I doing? What am I doing here? Why is it? Oh, maybe I'm just, yeah, that's what I probably should do. Sorry. What am I doing here? I want to match them. Why is it doing that? If you're going to add camera movements in Solaris after this is done, I have questions about depth of field. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking about that. Yeah, Zach, I think that would be pretty accurate as to what, you know, what it is that you could do in there as well, for sure. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing, why is it doing this? I'm doing the exact same thing Tom is doing here. What am I doing? That is so weird. Do you need to trail in SOPs? Yeah, I mean, I am trailing in SOPs here. I don't understand. Yeah, so okay, whatever. I don't know why that's not working. That's really strange. But particle trail will do it. And it probably has a trail SOP in here somewhere, but whatever. I don't know what's going on there. It's really weird. Don't know why that was acting weird. Yeah, so what you could do with this here is you could add different P scale from the, you know, the top of it to the bottom. So you could do something like this, and you could do like, I mean, just to show kind of what it's doing more or less here. All right. Sorry. That is just not working, and I don't have the patience for it currently, so I'm just going to let it go. And we're just going to do something like this, and it'll be... Sure, it'll be fine. In fact, I could do this subdivision at render time and just call it from there. So we'll do that. So let's get rid of this. Yeah, I was going to shape the particles with the trail, but it's fine. It's fine. And part of the issue here is going to be too that even if we do the displacement, we're going to need to, even if we do the stuff in cops, it's going to give you the texture map, right? But then if you want to displace it based on that, you're still going to be in the same boat where you still need more resolution from it. So I honestly think we're probably just better off just doing it this way and just calling it, you know, like. Right. You displace at render time with the cops map, but unfortunately, if you're displacing, you only get the, I think you only get the resolution of the geometry, and it's going to, I don't know if it's gonna, I'm trying to think if it's going to need to be subdivided in order for the displacement to show better. I can't remember right now off the top of my head. Okay, so let's do this. Let's try the cops thing, I guess. It is dicing at render time. Okay, couldn't remember. I was thinking we would just need tons of geometry then. Okay, so let's do this. Let's say, this is just going to be out deformed ground. Okay. So let's just throw in another, let's throw in another cop network here. And we'll just fetch from the previous one. From here. And I'm just going to say orig HF. Okay. So this is going to be deform ground. Oh, right. I should just grab this original cop network and just throw it over here. What? Because it's got some settings here. So let me do that. And we'll just do the same thing here. Whoops. Hello? Cool. Okay. So that should work. What's the resolution of this? Okay. Super low resolution, but we can definitely go higher resolution from that. Yes. Yeah, Zach, I'm seeing, sorry, I'm a Redshift guy with render time tessellation. Yeah, I think that does happen in I think that happens now in Karma. But we'll try it. We'll see. Okay, so this is our height field map. What we could also do here is, let's go back to our particles thing here. And let's just transfer the, wonder why copying in Houdini is sometimes buggy. I think I just misclicked something, honestly. I don't think there was anything buggy with the copy. I think it was just me misclicking. So let's do an attribute transfer, and let's transfer the UVs, which I believe is a point attribute there. Let's transfer that over to here. Okay, cool. Okay, I think that'll work. And then what we could do here is come back over here and we're going to do a SOP geometry. Use an external SOP and say particle sim. Do that. Let's see. Okay, so instead of doing that, I guess what we need to do is something more like what Tom was doing over here. I was thinking we could just put it into that space, but what we're going to do is we need the world position of those, of that geometry. So let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. So instead of grabbing this geometry here, let's grab the, sorry, I'm not even remembering which one. Let's grab this source ground so we can actually get the world position of it. So let's do that. So we're going to accept that. It's going to get us this source ground. Then we can rasterize the UVs. So we're going to do this and then what? I don't understand what's going on there. Why is that? Let's try an attribute promote, maybe. Maybe it needs to be a vertex attribute. Let's try that. I don't understand that. Why would it be doing that? We have UVs. Oh, we have three-dimensional UVs? That's strange. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do a UV project. Let's just fit that. Doesn't need to do that. Why is it writing this? I feel like I'm losing my mind right now. This is really strange. I do not understand what's happening here. Let me do a... Sorry, I'm just gonna try something here. Just see if that... Yep. That is so weird. I don't know. I guess it's doing it because it's off of this plane or something, but I didn't think that that's... Yeah, I did not think that that would be how it would work. Like... 3-vector... Do height fields use 3-vector UVs for height field effects like erosion? Honestly, I don't know. I just always assumed it used the height attribute to do that. And in Copernicus, it's just a map. So really strange. Don't know why that is. But basically what I wanted to get here was like... Oh. Sorry. That's probably what I needed to do. I didn't even read what I was looking at there. Flatten those values is what I needed to do. Dumb. Why is this not giving me the position, though, of this, the original position? All right, Tom, what did you do over here? This is great. Sorry, everybody. Try my best here to get this to work, but I don't know why this isn't working here. Yep, project into UV space. Yep. We start with our geometry. We project it into UV space. Rasterize the geometry. And then this is the original position. So why is mine... If I need to take a quick break, I'll be waiting here. Thanks. Let's see. Why is that happening here? Okay, let's take that off for a second here. Let's go back to this setup. Okay, maybe this is working. Let's see, can I remap this? No. See, it's still not, it's not giving me values there that I can see. Okay, maybe this is what I need to do. Add a rest attribute here, and I can rasterize the rest. Because for some reason that's acting weird. Oh, right, because it's doing that and not original P. Is that actually working? It's hard to tell. Okay. Okay, let's try this. That, I don't know what I changed there. But something changed. Maybe it's because I was looking at P. Okay. Cool. Let's see if that can work. All right. So what I'm going to do instead of this deformed ground here is I'm going to come back up to these particles and I am going to... Okay. I'm going to try the particle trail thing. Because we can probably get some sort of output from that. All right, got our simulation there. All right, so oh, I see. Why do we only have... There we go. Okay. So let's do this. Tail, something like that. Let's do VDB from particles. Use that. Try to see if we can't. Okay. I don't understand why so many things are just not working right now. It's so weird. At least I think they should be working, but they're not. So, hi Leonard, do you have an idea? Hi bud. Thank you. Do you have ideas for Houdini? No? No Houdini ideas? Oh, okay. Bye. Oh, yeah, like why is this not? Yeah, Leonard, that's right. That's how you spell it for sure. Cool. So this is just not working right now. Okay. Feel like I'm gonna lose my mind here. Interesting. I'm also gonna do a thing here. I'm gonna attribute delete after this because there's just too many attributes. Yeah, width is seen by VDB, yes. Be the same thing if we did a sweep, right? Like if we did a sweep here, this would basically do the exact same thing. And I don't understand why these are doing that. Like there is no scale happening here, which is so confusing to me. Unless it's doing width, which seems so silly. Is that really what it's doing? Oh my God. I don't understand why this doesn't do P-scale. That's so bizarre to me. Yeah, that's a strange one. All right, first of all, I'm going to clean these up here. I just want to get rid of some things. Velocity, drag, ID. All right, clean that up a little bit. Okay. Actually, what I can do is do a attribute swap. And I can just copy width to P-scale. And now, hopefully, this will work. Gosh, that's so annoying. That's so annoying. Oh my gosh, that's so annoying. just gonna have some nice long trails like this. Call that good. All right, let's just do like 6 of those, and then we can resample these. Yes, a resample would be good instead of trying to do this all. Maybe something like that. I don't know. Cool. Okay. All right, let's just try this and see what happens here. Okay, we have a density VDB there, so that should work. Okay, so now if I do a null here and say, oh, particle VDB. All right, let's see if we can make this work. Good Lord. Okay, I don't think we need this, but that's okay. Stop import. Oops. Let's grab that. Particles. Let's grab the out particle VDB. And this should be our density and should be a rasterized volume. I think. Tom said something. Layer from VDB. Okay, that's what we're looking for here. VDB position. All right, let's try this. Geometry to VDB. Hey, yeah, nice. Look at that. It's working. All right, and then I can just do a layer here for my size reference. I have 512 up here by default. So I'm just going to do this, and I'm just going to set a resolution and say, I don't know, 4096, something like that. Hey, look, Leonard decided to join us. He's looking for mom. Okay. So we have this. That's cool. All right. All right. Leonard's a good guy. He's a good guy. He came and hung out for a little bit. Gave me some good vibes. Okay. So what we could do here is, let's see here. Ground. Let's just grab this just for fun right now, for funsies. And we could grab... Hello again. Dude, come here. Come here. I know. I know. Mom's not home. It's a terrible day. It's a terrible day. All right. So this should be our geometry. Yes. Perfect. So this is the color mapped back onto it. I do want to make that a little bit bigger. So that's good to know. So let's come down to here and we can just tweak this a little bit to make those particles a little bit bigger, maybe. That's unfortunate though, because I can't... How can I drive that? Let me see here. Basically, I want these widths to change based on... Okay. Interesting. Because I could make these wider, but they're not all the same width. Why is it doing that? Okay, so this is what I want to do here, this head width. If I use an attribute, but what attribute is it looking for? Head width, okay. So instead of p-scale, I'm going to say head width. Maybe? No? All right, so what are my... All right, so I'm going to use an attribute remap here and try to do the same thing here. Go from p-scale to head width. Why not do it the way you did before with the solver? Right. So the problem with that, which is in here still, if you want to take a look at that, the problem with this is that it's just really low resolution, right? Like when you go like this with it right here, let's let that go a little bit further. You can just see that the ground is really low resolution. We're having to calculate it per point, so you need a ton of points to be able to get like good meshes out of it. So what would actually be better is to do something like this, where you're actually getting a texture that you're putting on it, and then from there you can more easily displace that at render time, basically, and not have to do all of this stuff in actual geometry. But for some reason, things are just really going great. Yes, you sort of could, I guess. Yeah, we could try that. Let's give it a shot. Why not, right? Let's see here. So here's our particle sim. And let's just see what... Here's our particle geo. Just make that maybe a little... No, that's fine. We'll keep it like this. Okay. Yeah, let's give it a shot. Okay, so here's our ground height map. Gosh, you know, I actually haven't done this before. All right, so let's do... This is gonna be mono. And this will say mask, and it's also gonna be mono. I feel like it'll have to be simulation. I don't know. I've never done this before, so I'm literally doing this all. Where, where would there be a feedback? Maybe doing it with a flow block would work. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's the flow block that we want to do, I think. So yeah, so what we would do is do let's do this. Let's try this. Cable packet. This is going to go into the pass through. We'll just do this as the first color. Yep. Actually, okay, that should be good. Mono to RGBA. Could actually just grab that. Okay, so now we have this pass through, and we should be able to cable unpack here. And we can just call this that current mask. Something like that. And this should feed back, and if we use a maximum, yep. Okay. And then what we could do is we could do a subtract here. Or actually, we could just do a multiply constant. Oh, right. Sorry. This will be background. This will be foreground. Yep. Okay. Well, we're finally getting there. And what we could do is we could actually add a little bit of maybe just a touch of blur in here, just to soften it up just a little bit, maybe. Maybe something like that. Or we could actually add a little bit of blur in this part too. And then that would Do a little bit of both. Cool. Okay. And then we should be able to take this and do a remap. Actually, what I'm going to do is do just a RGBA to mono because it's just a mono signal. And now we just remap this. And let's see here. What is this going to be? We want that to be fully displaced. Yep. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing we did before and pull, like, do something here. And we're going to go. I know there's a way to go like negative with this. I can't think of, there's a key shortcut for it or something, but let's do this. Maybe we'll say -1 there. Okay. And let's see if we couldn't turn this into a I think if we do a layer properties, we can actually convert this over into a type, give it a height. Yep. And I think we actually want that to be the other way. Maybe. Okay, what we could do here is we can bring this over. Oops. And we can wire in this to the height. And let's turn the height, scale way down. Make sure I'm thinking about this the right way. And I am not. Let's just reset this so I can linear. Okay. So we want this to be a value that's low, like such. Then we want this to be kind of high. Something like that, maybe. Wait, why is this not? Okay, let's Bezier that. Okay, I think I'm fading this off too quickly. So let's do this times. Yeah, there we go. Let's just add some dome light in here. HDRI, something to just make this look. That one doesn't really look very good. There we go. Cool. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Let's just see what this... Actually, what I'm going to do too is just put this into the base color so we can see this sort of play out a little bit more here. Okay, I'm going to turn the blur maybe off. Yeah, that's better. Cool. Okay. Okay. Let's take this. Just see if we can't. Oop. What is going on here? Okay. All right, we'll do something like that. That's fine for now. Okay, so let's do a null that we can reference here later, and we'll just call this height. Oh, I didn't mean to actually change that. I was just going to change this to height. Okay. Let's now do a lop network here. Just gonna do it like so. Let's do a SOP import for the source ground, I think. Just gonna put this under world geometry. do a SOP import and grab those particle geometries. Actually, you know what? I can just probably grab the particle sim, and that should render with scale. Yeah, cool. Hopefully that'll work properly. So let's do particles, something like that, and we'll throw this in the same. And then we'll grab our bubble. Okay, we've got that going there. Great. Okay, let's just see what we've got here with that. Particles seem a little bit big, actually. Let me just see what happens if I bring in the particle geo. Right, it's half the size. Huh. Weird. I wonder if I did something in there. Well, that's fine. This'll be good. Totally fine. Okay. All right, so let's just do let's just do a physical sky. That's fine. It'll be easy enough to do. And let's maybe grab some quick materials here. Actually, I'm going to do a there we go, world lights. Turn up the exposure on that a little bit. All right, let's do some quick surface materials. That'll be easy enough to do. I'm going to say this will be the ground, or we'll call this cream. Something like that. And so this is going to go under world/materials. And so now we're going to make some stuff under there. If you haven't used Solaris a lot, what you can do is you can just drag and drop here in the viewport and we get options for what we want to put it onto. I'm going to put it onto the component ground. So now we've got that on there. Let's also do another quick, actually, I'm just going to duplicate this and we'll call this one, shampoo, because it's the shampoo, I guess. Cool. So this is going to be kind of like a yellowy orange color. Just real quick, we'll do with that. We'll obviously dial that in a little bit more. But we can just drag and drop this now and just say, okay, let's put it onto the particle component. And we're going to put shampoo also onto this bubble component as well. So now we're getting somewhere with that. The cream, though, we want to grab our bump map here, which is both normal and height. we're going to grab height and we're going to say bump height with this going to be true displacements. So what I'm going to do is I am going to do op : and then I'm going to make a path to that. So obj, the ground, we had, what was the name of that? What did I call that? Ground height map. Then there's height in there. And that should hopefully now give us a height map in here, I'm hoping. Oh, interesting. We have 2 assigned materials here, so let me just see if I can put these all in one. Okay, perfect. Yeah, those can all go into one. And so here, oh, hey, there we go. We're starting to see some stuff going on. I probably shouldn't be doing this while I'm rendering and scrubbing. Give that a second. You can see our displacements coming in. I'm not sure that that's the best map for, like, the best resolution for it. Well, we'll take a look and see if we can do anything to make this any better. All the little Pac-Mans are coming in to merge with it. Yep. Cool. Be really nice if this doesn't crash. I'd love that. How's everybody doing? Hey, Fitzgerald, how's it going? Flash, hello. Welcome. Everybody's doing amazing. Good. Oh, yeah, Sean, how's it going? Yeah, it was good meeting you at SIGGRAPH too. You've got it, PC. Come on, you can do it. I don't know what it's trying to do that it's like freaking out so badly on. Like maybe it's a displacement? I'm gonna let it go for a little bit. Just let it do its thing, you know? The other thing that was kind of weird is that like central bubble seemed like it should be doing other things than that. So that's why I was like scrubbing. I was like, why does it look so weird? Doesn't look like it's like updated or something. I always like when your computer's in like a state like this where it's like locked up and it's really just not doing all that much. And you're like, what are you doing here, buddy? Like nothing's really chugging away too hard here. All right, let's see if I can just escape this here. Brain freeze state, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that would be nice. I agree. Here, just so we don't have to look at my silly gray screen. On a fun little side note, as we're waiting for my computer to figure out its life, this last weekend I started doing some like learning about mechanical watch restoration, which was very fun. So that's like a new little hobby that I'm getting into. So it was very fun. Lots of really, really tiny parts that I was working on with tweezers in a little watch movement, but it was definitely a cool learning experience. So nice thing is this now this doesn't freeze my stream or do anything weird to my stream if this is happening. So reminds you of your broken clock you need to fix. Yeah. Although probably with most modern clocks, it's just a battery that you need, which is, do I have a lot of tiny little tools? Not really yet. Depends. Yeah, I've got a few tiny little tools, but like, it's like I have a set of really tiny screwdrivers. Like some normal size, but some that get down to like a 0.5 millimeter, which literally looks like one of them got bent when it was shipped to me. And when I got the replacement shipped to me, like the tip of it or whatever, it literally looked like almost like a hair or something like that in it. It was weird. But the tweezers are just really sharp on the end. They're just really pointy. Yeah, it's really not like, it's not that many tiny tools so far. It's mostly just like getting used to using like the little loop in your eye and stuff like that. But it has some little weird gears and stuff. That's fun. Yes, but the thing I was taking apart had lots of springs and gears and things like that within it that I was taking apart. So, man, this really stinks. I don't know when the last time I saved was either, which is always my biggest problem, as everyone on this stream knows. It's one of my worst traits in life is saving. My brain does not have that built in. So I'd really like for this to just stop. Autosave. Yeah, I should have had it. The problem is, like I said, it messes me up with stuff from, like, if I'm doing presentation stuff, I don't always want it to be autosaving. So that actually really messes me up sometimes if I have it on autosave. In production, yes, agreed. But in training, it's always not the best, because you can save your projects in states that you don't want them in by doing that, and then you're like, shoot, my project's all screwed up now. So yeah, well, this might be the end of it for the evening if I can't get this thing to do its thing here. Yeah, that's mainly what I do on this computer, is do presentations and things like that. So like when I want each of my files to be in a very specific, yeah. Protect this fruit of human creativity not being consumed. I don't know what that means, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of AI, so yeah, no worries there. Well, guys, I think I might just let the computer chill for a while and see if it'll uncrash itself and just get into a state where it's happy. But it is also 8 o'clock, so I should probably start giving my brain a rest for the day. Well, hopefully we all learned a little something maybe here. There may not be a file to grab from this maybe, but we almost finished it. It was very close. It was very close. Yes. You know me. I'm so good at finishing projects. It's one of my top, next to autosave. It's one of my best features. Yeah, well, thanks everybody for joining me. Yeah, next time we'll probably get into something different. If I get this to be able to like uncrash itself, maybe I'll try to get just a little render out and post something on the Discord server. So if you're interested in the Discord server, you can go to HoudiniHangout.com, get an invite to the Discord server and go there. And yeah, it was a fun little experiment, and definitely learned a cool little trick with that world space lookup. When did I save it last? That's a great question. I don't know. But yes, the important info is captured on the stream. So if you're interested in creating your own thing, feel free to follow along with the stream. Maybe I will too. Who knows? Maybe I'll have to do that. But yes. Anyways, thank you all for joining. Thank you for being here and for your feedback and thoughts and input, and especially for Tom for giving us the idea to do the lookup thing the way we did. And live streaming is kind of like autosaving. Yeah, it's kind of like autosaving, except, you know, you get to save all of your failures as well. So it's very fun. But yeah, thanks all for joining. And next week, why do I feel like, no, I should be around next week. Tomorrow I'm going up to Toronto for the Side Effects barbecue, so that's going to be fun. But that's just a little thing. And I'll be back up in Toronto in next month for Equinox as well. So if you're looking to do that, if you're joining us up there, make sure to say hi. It'll be awesome. But if not, I should see you guys all next week. So thanks again. And yeah, hope everybody has a great rest of your day, night, whatever time it might be for you. Get some sleep if it's late or whatnot. So thanks everybody. Great chatting with you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye everybody.